So Sue are taking a lot of land. We haven't taken much for ourselves though. Bohemia relations are at maximum, so I think we're going to go ahead and recall you. Because relations with Russia are actually better. Oh, we are so close. Army strength is the main detractor. I'm going to maintain the diplomat with Russia. Who are your rivals? Lithuania and France. So what I could do is remove the Papal States. No. Castile? Except we're about to steal a bunch of their colonies. So no, I think I want to keep Castile. Just because it will give me more power projection, which means more monarch power. Especially as I'm sitting on 52. And that's going down because we eclipsed Malacca. Alright, more forts. Down here. I don't think I have any in the Americas. Well, I know I don't, because those are colonial nations. Alright, so the only other one that I think I'm going to do is build one in Zanzibar, just so we can keep hold of that island. Will there be a revolution in Scotland? Nah, I don't think so. I don't really see any reason for it. Ah, what to spend all my money on? Do we have the most upgraded ships yet? We're on heavy frigates. 26 is when we get the great frigates. Actually, the other thing we could do is continue to... Oh, hang on. Do we have all the cathedrals? No, we don't. Alright, let's invest in cathedrals, although actually there are a couple of places that probably would have been better. And manufactories. And has Enlightenment spawned yet? It did. In Vijayanga. Really? I'm going to assume they have 10 universities. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 universities. How the bloody hell did they get it? Grrr. I invested tons in universities because I wanted that myself. I have 4 colonies going right now. I could afford another. You've already been removed. You could be recalled. And then we could go in Otobi, or we could start going for those two. Portuguese Louisiana is growing pretty quickly. Looks like Central Nova Scotia is still spreading itself, which is good. We could go for Argentina. I don't really have any holdings in the south of France yet. Or I could double down for Australia. I really want my Australian colony. Although we do already have Nova Lothian, which I think is the Australian colony. Yeah, it is. Or we could double down on our holdings over here. You know what? I'm going to go double down on the Indonesia. Didn't they get it while I had lost most of them to the rebellion? Oh, that might well have been it. Yeah. Bugger! Okay, so we can get another idea. We're still 9 years ahead, so... getting that extra fire sounds like a great plan. I really want to get to Engineer Corps as soon as possible. So we'll go ahead and do that. What policies am I missing out on by not having completed naval? Transportation Act, which is irrelevant. Transport combat ability plus 50%. Irrelevant. Colonial range, trade range, irrelevant. Trade efficiency, trade power abroad. That's quite a nice one. Be yet another diplomatic one. Motion sense. We have gained imperialism against La Plata. Nice. Carib just lost like half of their lands for some reason. Okay, now we're occupying Florida. And it's being split fairly equally between the two. Hopefully they don't take like these territories and block the United States off. That would annoy me. And we're currently getting 4 over there. We need just 1 more colony over on that side, and then we can form proper Nova Scotia. Which I don't have yet, do I? I think Nova Scotia is actually just going to be the Canadian one. It's not going to be Northern Nova Scotia, it's just going to be Nova Scotia. Because I still want the colonial... Oh wait, we already have Nova Scotia. Scotland owns subjects in at least 5 fully colonised provinces in colonial Canada. Fully colonised, but I don't have that. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not entirely sure how I've earned it, but I'll take it. Is there any difference between Castile and Scotland's territory colour? No, and it's very annoying. Which is why my goal right now is to wipe everything yellow out. There can only be one, and it's mine. Shogani, go ahead, have another settlement, sure. Stability drop, king just died, but we have now got our even more ridiculous king in charge. The 544. He is 22, he's unmarried right now. I wonder if I can get a marriage review. No, and I actually feel like we're even further away now. Yeah, they were at 68, now they've gone to 70. What's our... Yearly corruption goes up. Oh, come on, James IV. I mean, it's a good thing that you provide so many monarch points. Wait, Lithuania just cancelled their embargo? Why? I am still your rival. In fact, why am I not embargoing you? I am embargoing you. And there would be a succession war between France and Castile if he died right now. Is there anything else I could do to improve their relations with me just that little bit more? Beyond just paying them money. Which I could do. It would take 15 years at 13 ducats a year. You know what? We'll do it. They'll give us another 15 relations with them. Getting loads of money. In fact, yeah, we have a bit of a surplus again. So let's go ahead and build the cathedrals up to scratch, and then the... Whoa! Okay! That's going to be a lot of production income. I should have been doing that first. In fact, I am sorely tempted to cancel those cathedrals. Because they're not halfway done yet, and then build the counting houses instead. Because good grief, that's a lot of money! I'm going to be even richer! Colony is self-sustaining in Iora. Cool. And you did indeed become part of Nova Lothian. So hopefully Nova Lothian is going to start taking over Australia for themselves. Now I've given them a bit of a landing ground. Tariffs and salt. I'm going to leave them as they are because my colonies tend to get rather uppity. Conversion successful. Good. Continue. I should really be looking at where I'm converting right now and turning those into trade zones. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. So anything Anglican can become a trade company. And down here as well. And it can only be the coastal provinces, I believe. And all of these should already be a trade company. They are. So that should be giving me more and more control over the sea routes there, and possibly also another merchant if I build them up sufficiently. So if you control more than 51% of the trade power in any trade node, that's colonial nation, trade company areas, then you get free merchants, which are kind of useful, though I already have quite a lot. Is it worth forming the Great Britain as Scotland? Would there be any major change in ideas? Yes, you get British ideas instead of Scottish ones, and you get the British missions as well. I chose to just say Scotland, just because thematically I think it's hilarious, Scotland taking over the world, but yeah, you absolutely could. A royal guest. More prestige. Actually, prestige helps, I think. I think the main thing I need to do right now is just build more troops. Oldenburg are having problems. How's Bohemia doing? Actually, Bohemia still... Hold on, I can get a marriage with Bohemia. You're not rivals with Russia, are you? You're not. So if we do that, then we can get their alliance. And we got the royal marriage, which means we now have a consort, which means we can have kids and therefore an heir. A new settlement. Go ahead. Alliance with Bohemia. Boom. And now diplomatically we're a lot stronger, which should allow us to play up to Russia as well. But now we have a continental counter to the French, which is what I was looking for. Burgundy is still alive? Oh, good grief, they are. And I can build some more stuff, build me more counting houses. 1.2. Where was that? Was it that one? Was that in Mordor? So a counting house in Mordor is making me more money. Marvellous. British ideas? Who wants those? Exactly, Freaky Z. Exactly. Actually, just noticed I don't have my notifications up. Just give me a minute while I do that. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, we're good. Onwards! We're still earning cash. Right, how are we doing on the land maintenance right now? 0.48, so that's had barely any impact. We still need like twice as many as we have right now. And also Malacca's having internal conflicts. I really want to go after Malacca. We're going to have to. I mean, we're way under our force limit, so what I'm thinking of doing is I'm just going to start building an army over here. Wait, were those mercenaries? Those were mercenaries. That's not what I meant. I want regular troops. Now that we're actually producing a fair amount of manpower, I feel like we can do this. Foreign talent. Our drill masters stand in awe of the Bruneian armies and the methods they have so successfully employed to organise army routines and practices. We are not the only ones who have taken notice. Bruneian officers are in high demand in many countries. So we can get 5 army professionalism for 2,700. Or not. I'm going to say no. Norway has just declared independence from Prussia. In Iceland. Still find it hilarious that Prussia owned Iceland. Yeah, Prussia is collapsing. Prussia was strong as well. That's really quite surprising. I could get a free cash injection, or we could get that stability again, get it up to +2. You know what? I'm going to wait for the stability. Money is not really where the problem is right now. Any workshop that increases money made by 0.42 is going to pay for itself before the end of the game. Oh, cool. Thanks for doing the math on that, because I think I would have just built them. In fact, I still might, because I wouldn't be surprised if my production efficiency goes up even further. That's something I tend to focus a very late game. Because production efficiency always seems a bit underwhelming. Although right now it's dwarfing my taxation. That's rare. Huh. I mean, trade generally dwarfs everything in my nations, that's not a surprise. But production being so high is. Interesting. Okay, I take back what I was just saying. Production's pretty good. Plus it increases the goods produced, which increases the trade value, which increases the amount of money you make through trade. So it kind of has two sources of income for you. Hey, Mystery Potato. Don't think I said hello to you already. No, I don't think I did. And we can invest in new technology. That's really far ahead of time, so I think I will wait. Although, that's going to be tapping itself out very, very soon. The other thing I could do... I was going to say we could start trying to embrace... Actually, we're going to get half of Scotland embracing soon. Well, they're at 50%. And there is another thing I could actually do, which I totally forgot to do previously when I was building up my development. But I could get the development idea, especially here in the south. It would really pay off there. And also the burghers. I kind of want to make you happier so that you give me the development cost reduction. Because I think I'm going to go on a development spree. So if I give you monopoly charters, you give me the dev cost. I'm then going to go into the edicts. Map mode, as soon as I remember where it is. That one. Right, so you definitely want the development edict, because all of this, all of them have... what are they called? Where is it? Development cost. All of them have universities already. Especially here in the south where it's all plains and farmland. So development is going to be super duper cheap. I think I'm just going to go ahead and develop everything. And Lothian as well, probably. How are you for flatness? Yeah, see, this area is not great, so we won't bother with that, but everything else should be fine. Then we can go over here, development, local tax value, development cost of Chester, 4. Somerset, 5. You see what I mean by development being super duper cheap right now. Although, do we have another development upgrade coming up? We do not. So yeah, we may as well just go completely ham on development. Considering that cost is barely going up. So much development! Actually, London go up quite a lot. I'm happy to pay for it. Right, then let's do production. Same thing. Manchester is valuable. Blimey. And then Glamorgan. Oh, which is iron. So if you have a manufactory there, that's going to be cha-ching. Okay, suddenly all of my development upgrades seem to be paying off a bit. Lancashire, we want you to be one of the biggest provinces. Leicester. And there we go, that's all of that out. Now, do I want to invest military? Yeah, I probably do. This is, again, I'm going to complain about the fact it does not show you what a state owns various places. Like, if this stuff was being owned by the military right now, I'd be far happier. The other thing I could do is beg these guys for their support. You won't. You won't. You won't. Alright then. Crazy development has increased. We are still the #1 power by 100 points now. In fact, 300 technically by total development. Oh, and that will also have the completely unintended side effect, because I only just remembered it's a thing, of boosting the technology. So the Enlightenment has now arrived in London. So Enlightenment is spreading quite rapidly, especially down here in the south. So development edicts plus economic ideas plus universities equals stupid amounts of development. And Castile is now no longer a valid rival. We've eclipsed them. So it can be France, the Mamluks, Russia, or the Papal States. Papal States? Really? Not that big. Right, who are your other rival? France. I think it might be time to rival France. Who does Bohemia hate? Hungary and Austria. Yeah, if I rival France, then that's almost certainly going to get me an alliance with Russia. Alright then, it's time. You've hated me for long enough. Really? Still not? What about that marriage? Marriage is actually even further off than the alliance. Well, I guess the thing that Russia wants is for me to have a bigger army. That can certainly be worked upon. And I am probably embargoing the wrong people right now. I am. So I am embargoing Castile, which I might want to continue doing. 5% trade efficiency for being able to block them out of, like, the Caribbean. So I'm not actually hurting them that much. What about down here? Yeah, see, I'm hurting their exports down in the Ivory Coast quite a lot. So more of the money is going to be going to the English Channel rather than Sevilla. And that's important because they're going to be pushing their money from South America that way. And I'm just trapping it all and grabbing it myself. So you know what? We're going to continue embargoing them, but we're also going to embargo France. And this is going to see my income skyrocket. Because they're also going to be doing tradey stuff up there in the north. So my income right now is 113, trade is 203. So at the end of the month, trade will recalculate. And we'll get even more. You are stealing territory in South America. Oh, only 3 ducats. Really? I'm actually surprised by that. Meanwhile, this war for Florida. Guys, just piece them out. You've won. Take their land and laugh. And we are now gaining 1,000 manpower a month, which is exactly where I want it to be. Marvellous! Get some more counting houses. France is embargoing us. Lithuania's finally declared war on Bornholm. Lose 1,000 ducats. That's irritating. That's going to force me to take loans. 2 loan. Are you kidding me? For that? Corruption is still going down, so I could take 1 corruption. Nah. Not really worthwhile. Fine. End of the month, I'll pay 1 of these back. No, I can't yet. 788? Ouchies! Well, in that case, what I feel like I should do is just build some more troops down here. Well, we'll wait for the manpower. It's fine. Colonies become self-sustaining, the Inquisitor has died, and Treasure Fleet has arrived. Alright, so we need the admin guy. How's my inflation these days? 15%. It's still pretty darn high. So what I probably want to do is grab the inflation reduction minister. That was a bit dangerous. So the next time you go down is in... Oh, 3 years. That's fine. We'll grab you because you are half price. And you're also going to reduce my inflation. So together with the National Bank, that'll be a 0.2 reduction. Group you. Okay, so if we were to standard template you, we would need another 15,000 manpower. Okay, good to know. France just declared war on somebody else. I really wish I had more manpower. I keep complaining about it, but I could totally just build more barracks. I know I have loans still outstanding, but I want these barracks so I can get the manpower up. going further and further ahead of the Scots. Also, I have a colonist available, which should totally be this guy. Or here even. Can't get there. Here then. I want to take that so I can head down south into like Michigan and the like. Also, Castellan Canada seems to be at war with Chickasaw. Okay, you guys pieced them out. Did you take any territory? Diplomatic map mode. You did. You took the southern part of Florida. You took one province. Defenses are compromised. We have 2 significant settlements in Pontiac and many days of travel between them. This has compromised our ability to defend the province properly. So we can spend money for military power. I'm going to wait until next month and then we'll spend the money. Yeah, we'll earn enough. Just. The price actually went up too. But hey, it's fine. You're getting there. Then the United States and Nova Scotia just needs to move their armies south again, although they're currently sieging this stuff out. So Nova Scotia, would you be able to declare war on those Portuguese guys, seeing as they're in the same colonial area as you? No. Disappointing. What about you, Central Nova Scotia? I keep doing that in the wrong place. I really want you to go and fight them. They're in the same colonial region as you. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've even claimed half of them. And that's a war I'm pretty confident you would win. Especially if I'm, you know, subsidizing you. Which I would. Alright, so I think I'm going to try and repay those 2 loans. And then we'll continue investing in other stuff. And we could still definitely be building up the Navy. We're actually quite significantly under my naval force limit right now. Is France trying to protect trade in the English Channel? No. And France's trade power here is getting absolutely decimated by me. Minus 52% because of the embargo. Hell yes. That's going to be costing them a pretty penny. Now I'm going to assume that they're collecting here in Genoa. They are. So as soon as I start privateering that, A, it's going to send my power projection through the roof. And B, even more money. Although, actually, that's a point. Can I actually reach them? Oh, you guys need to be upgraded too. Cost 1,800 though. Right, so if I wanted you... Whoops, not hunting pirates. To privateer, you could not reach Genoa. Okay then. Continue doing Lubeck. So what I need to do is start looking at a way to get privateers down here. I think I've just found it. Fleet basing rights from my pal Morocco. Age of Revolutions. Which I'm already gaining powerful subjects. Have a subject with 250 development. We are very close to the large capital. In fact, we could probably polish that up pretty soon. And then control at least 2 origins of institutions. See, if I'd got the Enlightenment, I would have had that too. And then I could have started a golden age. Have a government with a parliament. That's potentially possible. Emperor of the HRE. Or form my own empire. I'm probably close to that. Development discipline's unlikely. Have a 3-star general in command of a unit. That's also doable, and I'm kind of surprised I don't have already. So we could abolish slavery. Which will make stability cheaper. It would also get rid of all the slaves. How exactly do slaves work? I know I'll probably have some down here. Actually, I don't have many slaves. I don't have any slaves. Yeah, we should totally abolish slavery. It's an evil institution, should go.